Okie dokie. I'm gonna try paper this time. I typically bring my phone, but I've been inspired by everyone bringing paper. So, I'm gonna start off with two heavier poems and then end on a slightly less heavier poem. So I apologize, we're all kind of getting it out tonight. But there's someone close in my life who struggles with cutting themselves. And when I came into contact with this, I really had no idea how to handle it. It scared me, it terrified me. I wasn't sure if it was part of being suicidal or if it was just someone who was in a lot of pain. And it's a mixed bag. It's always a bit of both. But at the end of the day, it's really about someone not knowing where their pain should go and how they need to express that pain. So they take it out on themselves. And so this is a poem dedicated to them, and it's called Crystal Scars. Life has scraped these limbs, my lands shifting and splintering, my head full of fractures, my heart full of ruptures, a kaleidoscope of shards, and cooled, molten of emotion. Arms once unblemished are now unwanted. Gravities and crevices form within this crust that I call myself. I try to hide in my caves, concealed by the shame of shade. Brain chemicals stain, body temperatures change, heart pressure strain. This corroded mass I meant to abolish has now turned in to a beautiful polish. With every layer of growth, a new streak of color. With every tear cried, a stalagmite grew bolder. With every cut made, a crystal I now shoulder. And all this time, I never stood in the sun to see how I truly sparkled. It was wonderful to actually give them that poem, and it meant a lot to them. So I encourage anyone, if you have someone in your life that's struggling with something, sometimes poetry is really what speaks to people, and it's such a comfort. So something that I have been researching a lot lately is clothes, actually. Where clothes go, what we do with clothes, the recycling of clothes, or really the landfills of clothes. We live in a consumeristic culture where we just throw things away because it's convenient, and we often don't know the path in which a clothing comes to be, and I don't know, it kind of bothers me. So this is not so much from the environmentalist aspect, but more so from the human aspect. So this is called Worn Out Sweater. From the dried out fields of Kuri and Krishna, coffeed color hands pull the earth's cream cotton. People of pittance commerce these clouds, hiding their red drops of rain. Overseas, overseen by mechanical looms. Overseen by mechanical looms and sleepless eyes, sewn by little hands in mother's tears, maddening mundaneness, melting tips of childhood, embroidered with amenity. Waves carry these burdened weaves towards countries that crave convenience. Lands where pampered palms forget others' hardened hands, and you wore their labor of life, and you paid little for their performance, and you forgot about their fight, and you threw that sweater, those pairs of pants, that cardigan, those socks, that shirt, you threw it away. The last one is a little bit of a prettier poem, a little slightly happier, hopefully. Sorry. But it's been interesting. From a perspective of being a woman, you're obviously thrown a lot of expectations. You're thrown a lot of standards, unfortunately. And a lot of people tell you how you should look, how you should be, how you should act, all the things. And so I think one thing that's been a journey for me is makeup. It's funny. My mom made me wear it when I was 13 because she wanted me to be respected. She wanted me to look older. But that kind of tumbled as I grew up and grew older. Now, being 26, you had so many years of fighting of, is this what people expect of me? Is this how I want to look? Is this how I want to express myself? Is this where I find my identity? It took me, I'm not kidding, like 6 years to be okay with not wearing foundation or not wearing, thank you. Or not just, layering all these things for other people, or what I thought was for me was really not for me at all. It never made me comfortable, didn't really make me confident. It was just painting on top of painting on top of painting. So this poem is called Blue Eyeliner, and it's kind of about that long journey into kind of accepting my face. So, I thought we didn't put sharp opinions so close to our eyes. I thought blue chalk was for sidewalks, and eyes were meant to see decorations, not be them. And while my mom's reassurance made me sit still, my eyes twitched like wild animals trying to escape. These ungroomed lashes bit at her hands. My eyes were filled to the brim with compliments and flattery. And their words spilled out onto my face, pressing and patting and rubbing a new layer of decoration. I thought we didn't paint over art, erasing originality. I thought bottles were meant for canvases, and expressionism was born and printed, not achieved. And while my mirror's reassurance made me sit still, my skin gasped and grasped for deep breaths under beauty's dirt. And my landscape was stripped of flaws and faults, barren of any life. My being's ocean was fraught with drought. Waters muttered and cloudy began to soak down the salt, down my body, brushing, bearing, crying away this film that was called decoration. Thank you.